is that time, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in, everyone, to Season 2 of the SBA. A fantastic time all the time. Just absolutely loved with this. And Season 1 was an absolute hoot. So thank you all for tuning in for that. I'm a little bit of technical difficulties, but we are finally here. We are finally back here with the SBA. And if you guys don't know, Season 1 went to the Diddy Monkeys. So the way the seeding worked for the draft pick selection is the worst team by record in the top 3 will get those records. But whoever did the worst in the SBA playoffs gets the next pick. So the Birdo Bows were the first team eliminated with the worst record, so they made it. And then the Spitballs, Fireballs, the Wario Muscles, and Diddy Monkeys. But we have some new, people to announce as their starting team. So should be a lot of fun. I keep messing with that. I don't understand why it keeps doing that, but I digress. It's already a shit show and a half. But so, a little bit of things to talk about before we even get into it. The Peach Monarchs, formerly the Bowser Monsters, will be run by Yui. They were all able to save 3 players each, so Peach is now the captain of the Peach Monarchs. The Birdo Bows is the team Mushbrain had with the Yoshi Egg, so Mushbrain is now coaching the Birdo Bows. And then finally, Coach Pizza made the SBA Championship Series and got swept. So no more Bowser Jr., it is now the Wario Muscles. So definitely everyone else, same coach, same team. Only difference is that Wario Muscles will be one of the will be the head leader for Pizza with Red Critter Fibro and Red Magic Koopa. Obviously, we also have the Miis that we did sort of specify, but for those who don't know, the Miis that got saved for the Peach Monarchs, it was Josh Miara. For the Birdo Bows, it was Trey Mears. For the Waluigi Spitballs, it was Hennisme. And for the Mario Fireballs, it was Chet Meej. Now, we're going to get right into it. We're going to get to the first pick, and luckily, with Yui on the clock, she actually already submitted her board to us because she couldn't make it. So, with the first pick in the SBA Season 2 draft, the Peach Monarchs select Blue Critter, formerly of the DK Wilds, finally has a home with the Peach Monarchs, but now it is up to Jay Jettas and the DK Wilds, who are now on the clock. So we will just wait for each pick. So we're just waiting on the DK Wilds to get their pick in. So let me get the entirety of the board set up here. And with the second pick in the SBA Season 2 draft, the DK Wilds select Bowser. Couldn't make his way work as a captain, but at one point had one of the greatest games, and probably had one of, if not the greatest game in SBA history, with 4 hits and 4 home runs with 8 RBIs. So definitely an X factor there. The Daisy Flowers are on the clock. Oh wait, let me make sure I look. And with the next pick, Daisy Flowers decided not to keep him, at least originally. Let me make sure that it is the right pick. Yes, and with the next pick, the Daisy Flowers and Coach Flame will select Boomerang Bro. Boomerang Bro will be the next one off the board, and next up will be the Birdo Bows. So a little bit of work behind the scenes here. Unfortunately, my co-commissioner is not here at the moment, so I'm just running double duty. Nothing wrong with that. I've done it most of the season. So Boomerang Bro, and so the top 3 are Blue Critter, Bowser, and Boomerang Bro. A very interesting top 3 to start it off. So Can I select those 5 Birdos in the bottom and call it a day? So I don't know what this board is. It's on Tier Maker, and like they have like Rosalina, baby Rosalina. It's cool, but I didn't even know there were multicolored Birdos. I thought there was only one Birdo. So that's really interesting. So, like I said, the first 3 picks off the board: Peach Monarchs, DK Wilds, and the Daisy Flowers. With the next pick, the Birdo Bow Select, Blue Dry Bones. Blue Dry Bones off the board and on the Birdo Bows. Blue Dry Bones was a fantastic player. One of the main reasons that the Bowser Jr. rookies even made it as far as they did, a back-end hitter, but one of the clutch players of the year. So, absolutely insane production. Finally there. I will say, by the time this video is uploaded onto the SBA YouTube channel, all of our Brandon is going to be focused. So we have King K. Rool as your new cover athlete for Season 2. A lot of cool stuff. So, Yellow Pianta following Shador. And you say that, like, if you said that at the beginning of the season, Mango, it wouldn't be that crazy of a take, but Yellow Pianta fell off a cliff after week 3. I mean, honestly, for the Bowser monsters, he really fell off a cliff, and that's the reason they sort of fell off a cliff as well. And speaking of the devil, Yellow Pianta will be the next pick for the Waluigi Spitballs. So Coach D-Sleep gets his power hitter, along with the fantastic outfield of Tiny Kong and Baby DK. So there we go. Now the Mario Fireballs are on the clock. All right. So Yellow Pianta off the board. It's up to Coach Florida Man with the next pick in the SBA draft. Like I said, Season 1 was a fantastic season with everything put into account. I mean, it was just all over amazing. So definitely a fun season nonetheless. Bluebird, yeah, there's a lot of people who fell off cliffs as well. Generation, I mean, honestly, yeah. It was, I think, week 3 or week 2, Yellow Pianta had an absolute masterclass of a performance, so I don't blame you. The 1 week you watched him. So, like I said before, the top 5 picks right now: Blue Critter, Bowser, Boomerang Bro, Blue Dry Bones, and Yellow Pianta. Surprisingly, the only bro to not be saved by the Daisy Flowers, but somehow was able to get him back on the Daisy Flowers. So, risky move by Coach Flame, but was able to get him back on the team, and that is huge because this team is still great with Luigi and Daisy and Petey Piranha and Baby Peach. I mean, this is just a fantastic team. So right now, Florida Man on the clock. What pick will he make? He had the best regular season record in the SBA and then got swept in the semifinal. So looking for redemption with Mario here. He did not change captains. One of the many people who didn't change captains. So definitely going to be really interesting. There's a lot of still good people on the board. There's a few I'm looking at right now that I'm surprised that have not gone off the board. And that is one of them that Florida Man picked. Mario Fireball Select Red Shy Guy. The Defensive Player of the Year was snubbed and not on the board. The Waluigi Spitballs had a lot of good, it wasn't even the Waluigi Spitballs, the Diddy Monkeys. The Diddy Monkeys had a championship roster of the ages. And with only saving 3 players, that was going to be an issue. So, Red Shy Guy, the Defensive Player of the Year, goes to the Mario Fireballs, a defensive first team. So, there goes Red Shy Guy off the board. And next pick, the Wario Muscles Select Wiggler. So a bold strategy by them not saving Wiggler with their first 3 picks, like the Daisy Flowers with Boomerang Bro, but they get him back. And now, the Diddy Monkeys are on the clock. So now it's up to we're waiting actually on the championship trophy for Coach K-Bark. It's currently in the works and currently in transit, so we get a video up on that within season 2. So now up to the Diddy Monkeys. I mean, the Diddy Monkeys, their team was going to be gutted after this season, only saving 3 players. They saved the best 3 players they could. So, Baby DK. Oh yeah, Baby DK won Defensive Player of the Year, but it was like a 50-50. Still an up in the air thing. I mean, like I said before, when me and KJ were talking about Red Shy Guy, he was literally, it was like a 51-49 type of vote where we literally could have gone either way. Both of them deserved it. I mean, play of the game for the regular season from regular Shy Guy in week 14, which was just insane. I can't believe it. So, like I said before, this is a snake draft. So the Diddy Monkeys have back-to-back picks, and I have gotten the pick for back-to-back picks. The first one will be Monty Mole, and the next one will be Yoshi. So now 2 captains on the Diddy Monkeys. The Wario Muscles are back on the clock. What will Pizza go with here? This is going to be sort of a shorter stream because we don't have to do the entire draft. We only had to do about 6 rounds, but still should be a lot of fun. So the Wario Muscles up on the board. They got Wiggler. I mean, this is still a fantastic team. Wario leading this team is actually really good. I thought he was really underrated on the Waluigi Spitballs last year. But that's going to be neither here or there. And Green Dry Bones goes off the board. Pizza gets one of the Dry Bones to come back to his team. And that will be Green Dry Bones. And now the Mario Fireballs are on the clock. What pick will Florida Man go with here? A lot of good people still on the board. Really depending on who you go for. I mean, one of the people that is consistently left on the board is Toadsworth. And I mean, he had one of the best plays in the SBA in Season 1 with that triple. Not saying he's the greatest, but hey, as a pitcher, he could, he could be good. Who knows? But Red Toad goes off the board and on the board for the Mario Fireballs. So DC will be on the clock. So Red Toad goes off the board, a very versatile hitter, he was very good with the Diddy Monkeys. I mean, he was one of the main reasons to be the leadoff hitter. He was just fantastic all season long as that leadoff hitter for a championship team, and that championship pedigree goes to the Mario Fireballs. But speaking of the complete opposite, the least valuable player is going to the Waluigi Spitballs as Bowser Jr. is off the board as the 6th player for the Waluigi Spitballs. Least valuable player and absolutely crumbled. Not a good reliever, but with star pitchers on, could be really underrated this upcoming season. And now the Birdo Bows are on the clock. Like I said before, we had a fantastic first season. Thank you all so much for just participating. It was a lot of fun, honestly, so. It's going to be really interesting to see how this season goes because, like I said before, this is a snake draft, but also, this is one of those things where, going into it, like, it's just really interesting to see, with only 3 players saved, how even the teams are or how good the teams get. So, like I said before, it's going to be really interesting to see, and Blue Toad will go to the Birdo Bows, and the Daisy Flowers are on the clock. I did get Flame's draft board, because he said he could not make it, so helping him out a little bit with his next pick. And surprisingly, almost fell into his lap was Wiggler, but the next pick will actually be a me after being benched in basically release of free agency. Binks McMee will make his way to the Daisy Flowers. So now the DK Wilds are on the clock. Write this down. Daisy Flowers, Binks McMee goes there. There we go. And with the next pick, the DK Wilds will select Yellow Magic Koopa to pair up with Green Magic Koopa yet again. And that's going to be a great 1-2 combo in the infield for the DK Wilds. And now the Peach Monarchs are on the clock for back-to-back picks. And the next pick will be Toadette. Toadette with the second round pick. And basically, let me double check here. So double checking here. So Toadsworth will be the next pick for Yui. Double checking here. Let me check in. Florida Man did send a message which Miis are available. The Miis that are currently off the board right now, I can actually send you looking at in announcements. The Miis off the board are Josh Miara, Trey Mears, Hennis Mii, Chet Meej, and Binks McMee. Every other Mii is on the board and very available. If we run out of Mii spaces, we'll use the other ones and just sort of work around it, and then I'll make a little spreadsheet probably since I have the time. But it'll be really interesting. So I can't get a response. Fortunately, I think Yui's at work. So with the next pick, the Peach Monarchs select Toadsworth. So Toadsworth is off the board and the DK Wilds are on the clock. The Miis, okay, the Miis remaining would probably be, I think CJ Myrons wasn't saved. So you have CJ Myrons, EJ Myrons, Heizemi, I think was grabbed. I think Heizemi was saved. I don't know that for sure. Let me double check. I don't think Heizemi was saved actually. So let me double check. Yeah, Heizemi was not saved. So Heizemi, Ultimi, who was an all-star by the way. You have Taylor McWee. You have and I believe those are the only ones I know off the top of my head, but there are a lot of good, possibilities. KJ, welcome in, co-commissioner. And with the next pick, the DK Wild select Boo. Sort of a key contributor to the outfield for the SBA championship Diddy Monkeys. So now the Flowers are on the clock. All right, and sorry, most friends make me laugh. And all right, and with the next pick, the Daisy Flowers select Pitcher of the Year, Blooper. Blooper is off the board and going to be a great pitcher for the Daisy Flowers. I got bronchitis. Yeah, unfortunately, KJ has bronchitis, so. Oh, that is not what I meant to put. Whoops. But on the clock is the Birdo Bow. It's going to be really interesting to who they go for. So Blooper goes off the board. And with the next pick, the Birdo Bow selects CJ Myrons. So CJ Myrons off the board. CJ Myrons for most of the season, at least the first half, was seen as a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. And then talk about underutilization from Florida Man for most of, if not all, the season. So definitely interesting. So now the Wallabies Spitballs and Coach D-Sleep are on the clock. Who will they take? Yeah, and if you guys are asking about the Miis, just ask them about them in DMs, and then I will answer that. That is completely fine. Underutilized? Absolutely underutilized. You did not put that man into a proper position in the infield until like week 13. I'm talking about CJ Myrons, not Blooper. But anyways, back and reunited Alton Me will be going to the Waluigi Spitballs in the next pick, and the Mario Fireballs are on the clock. Alton Me surprisingly fell this far, and he was an all-star last season. So, going to be really interesting to see if that's going to be the case going forward, but so on the clock is Coach Florida Man. Just double checking, making sure that the pick is in for them. And that is going to be it. The next pick for the Mario Fireballs will be Green Toad. So Green Toad with the next pick. The Wario Muscles are on the clock. So let me send this over to Florida Man so he stops harassing me. Give me 1 second. So Coach Pizza on the clock. The Wario Muscles, still a fantastic team. I think losing Blue Dry Bones is definitely going to be, it's going to hurt in the long run. So, let me send these over to Florida Man. With the next pick. Oh, love of God. All right. Oh. Waiting on the Wario Muscles to make their pick. We're almost near the end of this draft. We're at the 7th round, so the D Monkeys will be up here momentarily. And with the next pick, the Wario Muscles select E.J. Myrons. The Alabama quarterback, formerly of the DK Wilds, will make his way over to Wario City. So now the champion Diddy Monkeys are on the clock for back-to-back picks. So just double checking a few things, but we are good. We're just waiting on the pick from K-Bark, but team's looking pretty good so far. Still some very, very good players. One of the championship pieces of that Diddy Monkey team, Blue Shy Guy, is still on the board as well. So waiting on Coach K-Bark. Where will he go with his next two picks? And with the next two picks will be Vanilla Me and Green Shy Guy. Green Shy Guy sort of thrown to the wayside in that blockbuster trade in the middle of the season between the Mario Fireballs and the Yoshi Eggs. finally gets his chance at redemption on the Diddy Monkeys. A great place for him to be. But it is Wario Muscles who are on the clock. So Vanilla Me wasn't me. I did forget about if you had to really do your research for that. But Vanilla Me still a fantastic me. Probably going to be a good chance at being the pitcher for the Diddy Monkeys. So that's really, really interesting. And with the next pick, it looks like the Wario Muscles will go with Red Koopa. So Red Koopa off the board. Mario Fireballs on the clock. So like I said before, Vanilla Me wasn't in the conversation for Pitcher of the Year, but definitely really interesting. You know, he was pretty decent. I mean, he was the pitcher for the team that won the SBA championship. You cannot be mad at that. That's great championship pedigree. And with the next pick, we don't have any more me slots, so we're going to have to use these as sort of interim slots. But the Mario Fireballs will select Rex Meavers. A big fall from grace, even though for the most part, Rex Meavers was a fantastic pitcher for their team in the Daisy Flowers, but so there we go. Rex Meavers will be a Mario Fireball. Now Coach D-Sleep on the clock. Coach D-Sleep would have loved a good pitcher there to be sort of a backup to Waluigi, because Waluigi, for as much as he did it good, sometimes, I mean, maybe Bowser Jr. is the backup for the Spitballs. Who knows at this point, but gonna be really interesting to see what happens here. With the next pick, on the clock, the Waluigi Spitballs. Where are they going to go with this pick? So Coach D-Sleep submitting the pick now. The pick is in. Waiting for confirmation. Where will D-Sleep go here? And with the next pick in the SBA draft, the Waluigi Spitballs will select Baby Daisy. Was on a team for about 1 week and then immediately got cut and sent to free agency. So a little bit of a chance of redemption for Baby Daisy for the Waluigi Spitballs. And now Coach Mushbrain and the Berto Bows are on the clock. Where will they go with their next pick? Few Miis still left on the board. One of the Miis that I'm surprised has not been picked yet is Heisen Me. I mean, was pretty decent. Not many home runs, but still a solid hitter. So, gonna be really interesting. But that pick will not be this pick, as the next pick with the Berto Bows, they will select Blue Noki. So Blue Noki's off the board and going over the flame. The Daisy Flowers are on the clock. And talk about getting bailed out. Heisen Me falls back to the Daisy Flowers, not the Waluigi Spitballs. So Heisen Me has a new home with the Daisy Flowers. In what, the 8th round? That's a great value for me, let me tell you. Heisen Me is very, very underrated in this game. So I think he got a really good home, really good late steal pick for the DK Wilds. double check in with Jalen, who took over for Jay Jettis because Jay Jettis wasn't available. I know we had like one meet that was on the chopping block, but I don't know if any other meets were in the fray, and I don't believe so. So here we go. The DK Wilds on the clock, and then the Peach Marks will have back-to-back picks. So going to be really interesting to see what they do with those picks as the last two picks. And it looks like Taylor McWee is going to the DK Wilds. So Taylor McWee, the last me off the board, goes to the DK Wilds. And going to be really interesting to see how he fits in with that team. Like I said, was there season 1 and was very, very good alongside Josh Miara. Josh Miara no longer there, so it's going to be really interesting to see what they do with that infield. So, with the next pick, the Peach Marks will make their last two picks. I did get sent the board from Yui, so we'll see what they want to go with there. So, with the last two picks, they'll go with Yellow Toad and Purple Toad. Purple Toad falling to the 9th round is really, really interesting because Purple Toad was a key contributor for the Daisy Flowers. So, what will happen there? Looks like the DK Wilds are on the clock for their last pick. So this is the last round of the SBA draft. And with the last pick surprisingly falling this late is going to be Dixie Kong. Dixie Kong left off the board until the 9th round, which I think is very shocking because she was a fantastic infielder. So interesting to see where that goes. And with the last pick, the Daisy Flowers will select Dark Blue Yoshi. So that will be the last pick. The Birdo Bows are on the clock with their last pick in the Season 2 SBA draft. Who will Mushbrain take with his 9th pick? Dixie Kong falling to the 9th round was kind of very, very impressive that she even fell to the 9th round. So Mushbrain's a special type of human being. Mushbrain never change. I want to say, which was crazy. For the Birdo Bows, King Boo was like the first one he wanted to save over everyone else, which I thought was very impressive. Along with other people as well, so Blue Pianta was one of the people he did save. And one of the last people he will grab will be Blue Shy Guy. So Blue Shy Guy off the board. D-Sleep will be on the clock. So 4 more picks left. It's going to be really interesting to see. I think all the Miis have been taken, with Binks McMee getting a home back as well. So, a lot of good people still on the board. The Yoshi's really good as fielders. I mean, you still have Baby Luigi. Baby Luigi and Baby Mario are still on the board, which is kind of impressive. I was not expecting Baby Luigi and Baby Mario to fall to the 9th round. Yes, they aren't the best hitters, but they are fantastic outfielders, so very interesting to see where they go from here. like I said before, it was a fantastic season 1 with the SBA. So, going to be really interesting to see where to go with that. But season 2 should be just as exciting, if not more, because of the amount of shakeup we have for most of the lineups. So, and the last pick for the Waluigi Spitballs will be Green Paratroopa. So Green Paratroopa will be selected here, and Florida Man and the Mario Fireballs will be on the clock. Florida Man, obviously, the best record in the SBA last season, but to unfortunately no avail, as it was just not working out, as they got immediately swept in the second round. So let me make sure I double check with that. Double check with these before I... Then I believe there was one more. Yes, it was... There's Daisy Flowers getting also... There we go. Making sure we save all that, and then here we go. Wow. Florida Man, I will say, Mush and D-Sleep, you kind of ruined Florida Man's process. Well, insane work there from Florida Man. But with that being said, the Mario Fireballs will get Koopa. So regular Koopa off the board for the Mario Fireballs, and now the Wario Muscles are on the clock for their last pick in the SBA draft. Where will Pizza go with the rest of his team? I mean, there's still some good value here. Depends on who you go with at this point in the draft. At this point, you're going for fit. At this point, you're going for who works best for your team. So, who will Pizza Time go for? Yeah, I will say, Flame, the auto draft did kind of work out in your favor really well, actually. Got Heisemi, got Blooper, got Boomerang Bro. A lot of good picks from the Daisy Flowers of the auto draft, so. And with the last pick for the Wario Muscles, they will select Paratroopa. So Paratroopa off the board. And now it's time for Mr. Irrelevant. Who will be Mr. Irrelevant in this year's SBA draft with the last pick? And with the last pick in Mr. Irrelevant in this year's SBA draft, your champion Diddy Monkey select Paragoomba. So there you go. That is the entire board, and that will be your rosters for Season 2. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will get this posted in the Discord momentarily. And with that being said, Season 2 is on the hook. And thank God this is a live stream and just won't worry about that. But with that being said, these are the rosters for Season 2, and Season 2 is on the horizon. Good night, everyone, and we will see you guys for Week 1.